I did decide to not do the steampunk writing session right now, but I am going to relay to you who the guest characters for Multiverse Scenario 1 will be. Keep in mind, 5 of these characters might not make the cut unless if something happens. So we'll save an extra 5 slots. We'll have 50 characters in the base game, 25 main, 25 guest, making a character base roster for every game, for the characters that are going to be in every game to be an astounding 50. And the guest characters will be on this. It'll be like Marvel vs. Capcom, when the guest character will be on one side and the normal characters will be on the other. However, if we can convince Nintendo and the Super Smash Bros. Company in the future, when they're founded, to allow Mario, Link, Samus, Kirby, and Inkling to make the cut, albeit with much more darker costumes, like Mario and Luigi will, we will do that. The reason why we're gonna basically cut it down 25 guest characters is we don't know if we're gonna get the right to those said 5 characters. So if we don't, we'll just do the 5 PlayStation characters. And if you're playing on PlayStation, since PlayStation allowed Kratos to be played on Xbox and PC through Fortnite, I think we can convince Sony that we'll have the 5 PlayStation characters in the game, as long as the characters can be played, will be on, as long as, and the same will be if you have Smash Bros. On your console. If it's a Smash Bros. Rep, we don't know what's going to happen. It could take a long time to formulate the 20th game, because the first phase will have 15 to 20 games. Basically, it's going to have, so, here's the characters for the Sony guests. These ones are for sure going to be in it, and I do think we can convince Sony to let them be early unlocks exclusive to the PlayStation version of the game. There's all other versions, you're going to have to play through the campaign to unlock the characters. Since they're PlayStation, we will not let you unlock the character through completing certain goals to do a challenger, something similar to Challenger Approaching. Probably any opponent, it'll probably be something called opponent striking, or something like that. It'll be a new opponent approaching, or a new opponent strikes. That'll be what it was called. So, here it is. We'll have Astrobot with Sackboy as the main Echo. Yes, every character will have an Echo. I'll explain to you why. Joel and Ellie as the Echo. Kratos and young Kratos as the Echo. We want to do Aloy, but she already has a deal with Smash Bros. So instead, we're doing 2 other characters. We're doing Nathan Drake with Clara as from Uncharted, or I don't exactly remember the game. I did beat all 4. I do want to play Uncharted The Lost Legacy as the Echo. And finally, not least but not least, Ratchet and Clank and Riveted Kit as the Echo for Ratchet and Clank. Now let's go over the 20 other guest characters. First is a classic from my dad's era. Yes, I am doing this because I love my dad, and he's the best. We may even go so far as to include Meet the Moo as a soundtrack to the game. Like, as a secret unlockable soundtrack you can only unlock through a cheat code, and will not be tied to the 100% completion rate. Though, cheat code, if you're listening to this, will be Moo with 4 O's. Moo. And yes, he did make an album called Meet the Moo. I'll prove it to you in a later vid. It is Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, with the protagonist of Turok 3, with the female version being an alternate costume as the Echo. As for other Atari reps, yes, we are having other Atari reps. We're going to have Scorpion from Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and from the normal Mortal Kombat NetherRealm thing. It's kind of both. We'll have Scorpion Sub-Zero as the Echo. I'll explain to you why. Yars Revenge, Yars from Yars Revenge, and a new character from the upcoming Yars sequel, Howard is secretly planning as the Echo. Yes, I do want that. I would do Adventure, but there's not much personality in Adventure, so we have to do Yars instead. As for another character, Hacker, with the female character as a costume, version as a secondary costume. And yes, another System Shock 2's protagonist as the Echo. And finally, last but not least, it is Pong Quest Guy, as well as a female Echo for him. The reason? I think Pong has to be represented. Don't worry, this game franchise won't be immune to having a few bright, colorful characters. Albeit the non-guest stars will have bright, colorful characters, but the games they come from will probably be most likely T at minimum. And maximum, because we do want to have a few gory. Most of the games that we're going to do are going to be a little bit gory than like Astro Observatorio will be T. It will be gorier than most typical game. It's going to be huge, trust me, but that's going to be like a huge open world game, Astro Observatorio. On side note, that's going to have a center like castle that has like a villain. It's a fusion between Emperor Nefarious, Bowser, and believe it or not, yes, King Magnifico, if he was done right. I think if he was done right, he would have made the people depressed and not happy. So instead, we're going to do a darker turn. This villain's going to corrupt instead of making them depressed by taking their wishes, we're going to make him like what should have happened in the film. I'm infuriated by that. We're going to have the villain take the dreams to safeguard them and grant them, only to corrupt them, and if most corrupted, then he grants them. Yes, we are going that route. He'll be a fusion of Emperor Nefarious, Bowser, Ganondorf, and King Magnifico if done right. Which would have had a black outfit if he was done right, don't get me wrong. So he won't be in pure right. That's for sure. In fact, we have a twist that he's going to actually end up being a demon, a dream demon in near the end. Yes, he is going to be, believe it or not, we're going to tie this to certain other, I don't know, I'm not going to mention it. Sorry, outsource for mentioning the idea of him being from the same realm Bill Cipher landed up in. But anyways, what else? But yeah, back to the guest roster. So who's the rest of the characters? The 15. Let's go over them. Doomslayer with Doom, Dark Ages Slayer as the Echo. And there will only be 2 of each costume variant for the Slayer. That being 2 versions of the normal Slayer, 2 versions of the Marine Slayer, 2 versions of the Doom 64 Slayer, and 2 versions of the Doom 2 Slayer. We are not adding the Rainbow Unicorn Slayer. If you do want that, fine. Maybe we'll make costume acts for all the, as like roster costume packs you could buy for $5 each. Adds new costumes to the roster. If you want. We'll have a van photo if we want DLC similar to Little Big Planet. They'll always be up as long as the game's online. And if the game shuts down, just in case, we'll make a version of the game disc that contains all the DLC on disc later on. Just like Street Fighter 1 plus Years 1 and 2 edition. But anyways, moving on. As for other reps, we're gonna have Ryu and older Luke from like Street Fighter 6 with older Ryu as from Street Fighter 6 as the Echo, with older Ryu also having older Ken as a costume. Actually, yeah, let's just do that. The movesets are super similar. Although their mechanics will change if you change it from Ryu to Ken. So the costumes could have a little bit different stats depending on the costume, creating an interesting meta. Like if there's a female version of a character, like the female hacker from System Shock, so it'll be a lot more easier to control, but easier to knock off the stage. So that's when she respawns, she'll be dazed, and you can fatality them. So, what else? We'll have Mega Man X with Mega Man Zero as the alt, as the Echo. We're also gonna have an interesting cross-series from Capcom and Konami. James and Leon as the Echo. Now, another character we're going to add in, these are the three classics, are Minecraft Steve from a Minecraft movie, live action, with another Minecraft movie, Alex, or a Minecraft movie post-credit, Alex, as the Echo. Yes, I do want that. And yes, yes, instead of Final Smash, there'll be a version of Final Smash that's related to the fatality system. Now, let's move on. Classic Sonic and Classic Tails. The reason why I'm not adding Modern Sonic, I don't want to take that franchise away from Super Smash Bros. It is too integral to Smash. So we're going to go for Classic Tails as the Echo instead. Maybe Smash Bros. Then could have Shadow as the Echo, because that would be really fucking sick. Anyways, after that, we're going to have Shadow Labyrinth Pac-Man with a Pac-Man survival horror game I want to make in collaboration with Bandai Namco. That's going to play like Dead Space. That's the Echo. It'll basically be like terminal montages. Pac-Man, something about Pac-Man except adapted to a full-blown game. We may even contact Jeremy from Terminal Montage if he wants to be involved in the game. So there you go. There's like 7 characters already. What else are we gonna add? I was thinking we can add a character from High on Life. With High on Life 2, also getting a rep. We're not gonna add Shovel Knight because, believe it or not, he's not as important as he used to be. But the reason why I want to have High on Life 1 and High on Life 2 with the skateboard as a character, I'll tell you the reason. It's based off of games I like playing. So yeah, there you go. It's also the reason why I kind of want an extra 5 character to make it 60 characters so we can have an extra 5 normal one. If Nintendo / Super Smash Bros. Company in the future approves of a multi-plat of Mario, Link, Samus, Kirby, and Inkling to be in the game as reps from Nintendo, if we agree to make a Nintendo version of the game, and they'll be unlocked if you have Super Smash Bros. Unlocked on the console. As long as so the conditions I want to set are, I will allow, if they allow for those characters to be in the other versions of the game, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, you can unlock those characters instantly if you play it on Nintendo. Which we will put it fully on the cart if that's the case, if we have to do that. However, this is a big however, those characters will be given darker skin outfits, and we'll have the echoes of Luigi, for Mario, Breath of the Wild Link for Twilight Princess Link, because I think future Smash Bros. Games should have the hero of the multiverse or hero of time as a character. Psylocke for Samus, yes, there's a reason. Dark Samus, wait. That's a good idea. Have Psylocke as a character. Oh yeah, Dark Samus already is in Smash. How about we have Psylocke as the Echo in this version? Because Metroid Prime 4 will be more in people's head. Although we'll ask them if they want Dark Samus as the Echo instead. Kirby with Bandana Waldy as the Echo. And yes, Splatoon's Inkling with the Octolings as the Echo. Yes, we have set that, so there you go. I was trying to remember who else I want.